Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Exodus 20 and verse 8 has that recorded for us. It's one of the 10 commandments that are found there in the Old Covenant. And some people say then, we need to observe the Sabbath law today. Well, that isn't what the Bible teaches. The Bible tells us in the book of Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, in verse 14 through 15, and Colossians, the 2nd chapter, in verse 14, that the old law was taken out of the way. It was nailed to the cross. It was blotted out. The sacrifice of Christ did away with that old law, and according to the Hebrew writer, it is the blood of that covenant that brought forth the New Testament under which we are to live. Now, that being so, it's no wonder that the Apostle Paul records for us in Galatians, the 5th chapter, in verse 4, that if we seek to go to the Old Testament, taken away by the blood of Christ, the sacrifice of Christ, if we seek to go to that for justification, we ourselves are severed from Christ. Christ has become of no effect unto us. We're fallen from grace, if in fact we were ever saved. Well, some people say, well, no, it wasn't part of the Mosaic law. It was that which was taught from the very beginning. But in the book of Nehemiah, the 9th chapter, verse 8 through 14, as God was speaking unto those Israelites, the children of Israel, who had come out of Egypt, he said that the Sabbath law was madest known unto them. You see, the children of Israel were the ones given that law. It's never been a universal commandment. It's never given to anybody besides Israel. Some teach, well, it's been changed. It was changed to Sunday. But Exodus 20, verse 8 through 10 tells us that it was the seventh day, and it still is the seventh day, Saturday. No Bible passage even suggests that it was ever changed. So what does the Bible say about observing the Sabbath? It was a command given only to the Israelites, a command that which was abolished by the death of Christ, taken away at the cross. And if we seek to observe it, we're following something which is unauthorized, unscriptural, sinful. In an article by Roger Campbell, which we'll be glad to send to you if you'd like, he summarized it this way. In the New Testament, we find that the first day of the week is extremely important to the followers of Jesus. On that day, the Lord Jesus rose from the dead, Mark 16 and verse 9. In the first century, disciples of Christ assembled on the first day of the week to break bread, take the Lord's Supper, Acts 20 and verse 7, and to give of their means, 1 Corinthians 16 and verse 2. Without a doubt, the New Testament has the first day of the week, or Sunday, as a special day of worship for Christians. But in the Bible, this day is nowhere called the Christian Sabbath or day of rest. If you'd like to know more about this or any other Bible subject, feel free to contact us. We'd love to study with you. Thank you for listening.